Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'll work with you step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. Past papers are an excellent revision resource and I've worked with you from 2014 right the way through to 2019 in grades 1 to 5. I've lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best be prepared for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the 2019 Grade 4 Paper B. So if you turn with me to page 12, here we go, we'll have a look at this together. And so we're asked to refer back to this melody here, and we're going to answer the questions on the next couple of pages relating back to this melody. So our first job in 4A is to tick the appropriate definition for each of these two terms, and so do remember that this can refer back all the way back from grade 1, 2, 3 and 4, all of these terms combined, so there's a good bit of revision there. And if you refer to your PDF document, in the back of all of the grades I give you some revision tips, and also I'll give you some little tests as well, so you can just test yourself and do some revision there. And so now let's go ahead and answer these. I hope that you've had a go of this on your own first of all, and now we'll check through the answers together. Now we know that allegro means quick and allegretto means fairly quick, and dolce means sweetly. I always imagine sort of a sweet little dolly. Whatever word associations you can make to sort of make these words more memorable, whatever works for you. So dolce is sweet. So now pressing on to the next part of this question. We're asked to rewrite bar 6, but now we're asked to rewrite it using notes and rests of twice the value. So we're going to have to change the time signature. So let's go back and see what we've got here. So at the moment we've got 2 beats per bar, and each beat is a crotchet beat or a quarter note. So we have to stay in duple time, still 2 beats per bar, but now doubling everything, our unit beat is going to be minims or half notes, and so our new time signature is going to be 2 over 2, 2 half notes, 2 minim beats. And now we've just got to double everything. So we are looking at bar 6. And so in order to do that, to double everything, basically we just remove a beam. We're going to have to just get rid of that beam. So these become dotted quaver, semiquaver, semiquavers. Remove a beam, so that's going to become a crotchet or a quarter note. Remove a beam or an arm, so that will become a quaver, 8th note rest. Remove a beam, so that will become a quaver. So first of all, let's get the blobs in place. So just getting the note heads. So we're in the treble clef and F. Everything's just going up in step. There we go. So the rest we know what we're going to do, so we can just do that. And then down to the C. And so, getting your ruler ready, these are going to be all beamed together, diagonally, beaming that, showing we're ascending, we're going up. And then I'm just going to show there's the first crotchet or quarter note beat. Oh, there we are, I need to go a bit further, that doesn't look right. There we go. That's it, and now I can pop all of these together as well. So I'm just showing the divisions there within that minim beat, that half note beat. So that's going to become crotchet or a quarter note, that's going to become a quaver. So we can see there's 1 minim beat, there's 2 minim beats, 1 half note, 2 half notes. So we know that that's correct. So there we go. That's that question now completed. Now we're asked to name the ornament in bar 5. So let's jump back to that. So the ornament, the non-harmony note as it were, the non-essential note as it were, is this here, just an embellishment. Now there's a version of this without the little line. This is the appoggiatura or the leaning note, but this little line makes it a crush note or an acciaccatura, I think that's how you pronounce it, or alternatively you can call it a grace note, where you just squish that quickly and you just crush it in. That is probably the most descriptive term there. So we cut the classical term in Italian, double C, A double C, acciaccatura, there we go, bit of a mouthful. Crush note perhaps explains that, or alternatively you can have grace note. Any one of those will answer that question correctly. So now, keeping this little bit of music to hand, we're now going to go over the page to continue. And so for section B now, we are asked how many demi-semiquavers or 32nd notes is the first note in bar 5. There's a little star showing us that. How much is that worth? So let's have a look. Bar 5 is a dotted quaver, a dotted 8th note. So I'm just going to diagram this out. So first of all, here's our dotted quaver. Now I'm not going to bother about the dots just yet. Let's just get the quavers. So an 8th note or a quaver divides into 2 semiquavers or 2 16th notes, which divides again. So that gives us 4 demi-semiquavers or 4 32nd notes, so that's 4. And then the dot is half as much again, so half of 4 is 2, and so altogether the dotted quaver or dotted 8th note is 6 demi-semiquavers or 6 32nd notes. So there's our answer there. Now then, we're asked to show a bar that contains all of the notes of the tonic triad of B flat major. And so B flat major, the first, the third and the fifth give us the tonic triad, and so in B flat major that's a B flat, your key signature will deal with that so I won't bother, a D and an F, B, C, D, E, F. If you find that difficult to do in the top of your head, just have a diagram of a piano keyboard and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking for a B flat D, F. Your key signature will take care of the B flat. So let's see what we've got here. So we have a D and a B flat, but no F. We have an F, but nothing else, so not yet. A D, an F, and a B flat. So there we go, number 3 will do. Let's carry on, see if there are any other options. We have a B flat, but nothing else. A D, a B flat, but no F, so that won't do. So here the bar we copied has got an F, a B flat and a D, so that one will do. Or let's see what bar 7's got to offer. A D, F and a B flat. So yes, either bars 3, 6 or 7 will answer that question, any one of those. There we go. Now a little bit of general information. We asked which other key has the same key signature as B flat major. So what they're asking us here is what's the related minor key. Now if you've written out your circle of fifths, you've already done all of the thinking for this, and I do recommend that you do this every time you start to work. Just write it out fresh, and so on exam day you can just quickly sketch that down. If you're not sure how to go about that, have a look at my video, Music Theory for Everyone playlist. It's called The Circle of Fifths, the video is, and I explain exactly how this works and how to quickly work this out as a list. So I'll put the links in the card in the description for that. However, if you've done that, you can see that B flat major is related to G minor, shares the same key signature, and so that's that answer. There we go. Now then, is it true or is it false that this melody begins with an upbeat? Or the classical term for that is Anacrusis. So let's have a look. So we have a complete bar here, but our first bar is incomplete. It's like a lead in. There's our first bar, the strong beat, and the missing beats of this bar are reflected in the last bar, and they're also reflected in the beginning of each new phrase. So yes, indeed, it does begin with an upbeat, which leads in to the first bar. So that's true. There we go. And again, we've just got a little bit of observation here. How many times does this dotted rhythm occur? A dotted quaver, semiquaver, or dotted 8th note, 16th note. So let's have a look here, just being careful we get the correct time divisions. So that's not correct because the values are too small. So we get one here. Let's have a look, we get another one here. Nothing here, nothing here. Yes, here's another one. Dotted quaver, semiquaver, dotted 8th note, 16th note. Nothing here, nothing here. So we get 1, 2, 3 times that occurs. So we can now answer that. And so moving on to section C, we now ask some general information about orchestral instruments. So our first question is to name a standard orchestral woodwind instrument which normally uses the treble clef, which could play this, that it sounds at the same pitch. That doesn't mean that it's not a transposing instrument. That means that it can play this music at a comfortable sort of pitch, in the terms that it's happy in the register, this high treble clef register. So it's a woodwind instrument that we're after here. So it couldn't be something like the bassoon or so on, because that would be a bass clef instrument that could not play this highly. And so the obvious choice is, I think, the flute. That could easily play that. Alternatively, you could say oboe, that's another treble instrument, or even clarinet, that's very comfortable in that register there. So any one of those will do. And then carrying on, we've got to underline an instrument, just one instrument from the list below, that produces a sound of definite pitch. So that's tuned percussion here, a tuned pitch, where you could play a tune on it. So, you know, you would think something like the tubular bells or something like that, or that creates a particular tuned note. So actually, of all of these, the only one is the timpani. Now, that is like the kettle drum. That's usually tuned in an orchestral situation to the tonic and the dominant 1 and 5. Side drum, cymbals and bass drum don't have a pitch. They don't play a tuned note, so it can only be timpani there. And then moving on to this last little section here, generally speaking, we're asked to name the highest sounding and the lowest sounding members of the standard orchestral brass family. So in the orchestra, the highest brass instrument is the trumpet, and the lowest note in the brass family is the tuba, or alternatively we would say, you could say bass tuba. That isn't always present, but that would be an acceptable answer as well, so either of those. And then finally, is it true or is it false that arco means playing near the bridge? This is a string term, and that's false because arco means to use the bow. So that's incorrect. So that's the end of that question. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. I hope that you're enjoying your studies. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be super. And please do subscribe to my channel and stay updated. Please do share out the videos. And also please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. Bye.